Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and this week we have 12 incredible watches for you guys and girls, as always varying from Rolex to some brand you've probably never heard of, which we have two different dial colours of, to an awesome Quartz JLC, Zenith Longines, an amazing Hoya Manhattan. There really is something here for everyone. Is one I'm very excited to bring you. Now, as always, if you're here just to see the Bamford, for example, you can head down in the description. There will be a timestamp to each watch, so you can skip all the rambling, as well as a link to the website where you can go see all the details, make the purchase, and everything like that. Now, just a quick announcement for those of you who follow on Instagram or have seen the little bar at the top of the website. There is a pretty big announcement. So me and my wife have been holding off sharing, and we can't any longer because he's decided to be a little pickle. So as a lot of you probably know, we already have an incredible daughter. She's nearly 2, and we have another one on the way, which is supposed to be coming on the 23rd of August. We have an induction booked in, so we had everything planned and prepared for that. But my wife has gone into slow labour. For those of you that are familiar with this, it can be a process that can truly happen within a couple of days, or it could take weeks, if not a month, and we could end up back at the induction date anyway, so he might stay waiting. We just don't know, which means it's a very difficult time to be able to plan anything and make sort of things work, especially as I run the business on my own. So what I've done is basically put out that announcement, and I apologise in advance for any delays. Now, I'm still clearly coming into the office, still trying to get everything done, still shipping out orders. It's just I may have to run back home just in case of developing scenarios. And obviously, once our little boy is here, it's a little boy in case you didn't get that, once he's here, I will probably take a week or two off. And again, I will come in once or twice here and there just to ship out orders. So if you're ordering, you will still get your watch. There just may be a delay, so keep an eye out for the emails. In terms of appointments, I'm going to be very strict and very limited until I'm back to normal, basically. So please don't take offense if I do not hold a viewing for a couple of £100 watch. It sounds very harsh, and it's something I try not to do, but obviously it has to make sense for me to risk the journey in, and also the cost of the journey as well, and all those kind of things. Hopefully that will make sense. Hopefully it doesn't sound too harsh, and it's not me saying if you're going to spend tens of thousands, I've got time for you. It's just it has to make sense. Hopefully you understand that. It's just business at the end of the day. But that's enough of the update. I will keep you updated as the weeks go on. The drops, I'm about a month ahead, so the drops are continuing as normal every Saturday. That will not change unless I obviously can't. One thing that may not happen is these drop videos. It depends if I'm able to get in for about an hour to 2 hours to get this done, because that's how long it takes to sort of edit it, and then the rendering takes another couple of hours. But yeah, so as long as I can get in, things will continue as normal, and I'll keep you posted on social media, on my Instagram, so make sure you follow there at Kibble Watches. Any major updates will be put on there to keep you informed, as well as at the top of the website, the banner will take you to whatever the latest post is. Hopefully that will make sense. Any questions, shoot me an email, shoot me a message, whatever you need to do, I will do my best to get around to you as soon as possible. Okay, now that big announcement is out of the way. By the way, I probably didn't say it, I'm exhausted at the moment. We've been in the hospital all weekend pretty much, and just knackered, especially having a 2-year-old who's waking up at 4 a.m. in the first place. That's already pretty tiring, but everything else on top. But I am incredibly excited, as is the whole family. You know, my little daughter, she's buzzing to have a little brother. We are truly excited. If it didn't come across in the previous bit, I'm just that tired, so I apologise. I don't know why I'm apologising to you, but hey, that's what it is. But let's crack on with what you're here to see. Before that, what's on wrist? I'm wearing a beautiful 50s Movado oversized Calatrava. By oversized, it's about 35.5, 36 mil nearly, which for the period is considered oversized. It's not jumbo, there's all these different terms. Jumbo usually refers to about 38 plus, but oversized 36 for the period, because typically you're looking at somewhere between 32 and 34 mil in this period for this kind of design. So hopefully that makes sense. This one isn't for sale, and it hopefully won't ever be for sale. I absolutely love it, and I always try and have a few of these things in the collection. But let's crack on with what you are here to see, and let's stay on track. So we're going to start with a gorgeous 14060M with the sticker still on the back with a Rolex service card. This is a wonderful example, really strong case, and I believe from the year 2000, from the year 2000, exactly. So let's take a closer look. So starting this week off with a wonderful and honest Rolex Submariner, no date. This is the reference 14060M with the 2 lines of text on the dial. So you'll often see these referred to as a 2-liner, and then there's a 4-liner and things like that. What it refers to is the lines of text at the bottom right there. You can see Submariner, 1000 foot, 300M. In just 2 lines. This, arguably, for a lot of people, is probably one of the most cleanest aesthetics on a Submariner. Obviously, if you go far enough back, there's different. But in terms of like the somewhat modern watches, or neo-vintage, I guess we'd call them, this is the one to go for. This is from the year 2000. It's a P serial. Which means you have luminova on the dial hands and in the pip of the bezel, so it will glow, which is nice. Nice aluminium bezel. As I say, the watch is just super honest, really nice. You know, it's got scratches, it's been worn, but at the end of the day, it's a very solid chamfer across the case, and the bracelet is nice as well with the dive extension, and the sticker still present on the back, which does have 14060M embossed into it that you can just about see. Now behind that case back is an automatic Rolex caliber 3130, and as I say, if you're in the market for just a good Rolex Submariner you can wear and enjoy, this is definitely one to pick up. It doesn't come with any box or paperwork, but it does come with a Rolex service pouch and a 2020, I believe off the top of my head, Rolex service card. So all that's presented as well, and obviously it comes backed with our warranty. So as I say, nice honest one to pick up. So let's show it on wrist and talk diamond. And here we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that just hugs the wrist nicely. I've always been a big fan of the no date personally, and actually this reference as well with the 2 lines of text, I would say is one of my favorites. So this is 40mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, 12mm on the thickness and 20mm at the lugs with drilled lug holes still. So this is right towards the end of this generation. So you get all of the ease of these neo-vintage models. So go check it out on the website today. From one Rolex to another, this has to be one of my favorite sort of modern Datejust, because you have the concealed clasp, which is where the Jubilee goes all the way around. It's the roulette date wheel. It's almost like a sector dial almost. It's just a really, really nice example. These are great. From 2009, so let's take a closer look at this one. Now, as I said in the intro, this is one of my favorite Rolex Datejust, the modern Rolex Datejust you can get, and I'm still amazed by the value of these compared to new Rolexes at retail. So this is the reference 116234 from October 2009 with its box and warranty card, and it's obviously paired on its Jubilee bracelet, white gold fluted bezel, beautiful silver dial with a roulette date. So what does that mean? You can see the date right now is on 5 and it's red. As we switch between the dates, if I get in the right position, there we go, you'll see it goes from red to black, just like a roulette wheel. So that's why the name is roulette. Hopefully that makes sense. And this has one of my favorite Jubilee bracelets. You can see the coronet right there, but that is a concealed clasp. We call it a concealed clasp because, again, it's concealed, and you have the Jubilee flowing all the way around, making it like a beautiful piece of jewelry. You lift up the coronet and that opens the clasp like so. Plain case back as you'd expect, and inside this is the automatic Rolex caliber 3135. As I say, October 2009 with its box and warranty card. Really good condition, has been worn obviously, there's some scratches here and there, and it has been polished in the past, but it's not over polished. The case and bracelet is really strong, and we can have it polished again on request, but I really don't think it needs it. The scratches are a hairline, to be honest, so you can pick this up, wear it, enjoy it. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, on my 7-inch wrist. It's obviously no surprise the 36mm fits like a glove. I think it's the perfect size for a Datejust. Whilst I can get away with the bigger sizes, for me 36 in the Datejust is the size. So this is 36 by 44mm lug to lug, only 11mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options if you want to swap this out for a strap, but that concealed Jubilee just looks incredible. So go check it out on the website today. Next, a 2022 Grand Seiko High Beat GMT, and it's the green Shunbun. So let's take a closer look at this one. Really cool subtle dial. Now for a really wonderful Grand Seiko automatic GMT, this is the Shunbun green, which is an absolutely wonderful dial. Slight texture to it, which just plays with the light and again gives a completely different tone depending on the angle you've got it at. and that's always the beauty of Grand Seiko. Their dials just continue to develop. So this is the reference SBGJ251G, and it's from circa 2022 with its box, swing tags and booklets. Unfortunately, the original warranty card is no longer present, either lost in a move or never provided. It's always tricky with some of these models because, again, sometimes apologies about that. Sometimes retailers forget to include them, or again, they're lost in transit or from a move or just misplaced. It's one of those things that can unfortunately happen, but the watch still has a lot of stickers still present and is in wonderful condition. As we open it up, you can see that exhibition case back behind that slightly peeling sticker. We leave it on there just as it is, but you can obviously take it off if you wish. And inside is an automatic Grand Seiko caliber 9S86, a really wonderful GMT movement, and the GMT hand has a slight gold hue, just like the GMT stated down at 6 o'clock. Date over at 3 o'clock. Wonderful finishing to the hands and indices as you'd expect. Same with the case. This is obviously part of the sort of elegance series, I guess it is, which is this really wonderful case profile. Really nice lugs, and again, on the, I wouldn't say thick, because when we talk dimensions you'll see what the thickness is, but a little bit chunkier than some of the thinner models, making it quite a nice presence on the wrist. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see just from rotating the wrist how much that dial changes. So this is 39.5mm by 47mm lug to lug, 14mm on the thickness, and 19mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes to make strap changing nice and easy. So go check out this one on the website today. Now to a watch that's incredibly special, a watch I've owned previously, not this exact one, limited to 5. This is the Fierce Brunswick Brown for the 175th anniversary of the company. They only made 5, and this is number 1 of 5, and I regret selling mine, but I'm definitely not in a position to be adding something of this value to the collection anytime soon. So your chance is up. Let's take a closer look. Now for a Fierce Brunswick Brown. This is the 175th anniversary piece that Fierce made, and they only made 5 total. Now I owned one of these at retail when it came out. I was one of the lucky 5 to have one, and I do regret selling that watch, but obviously times were different back then when I sold it. I sold it. My brain is not working today, and I needed that money to sort of progress the business, and I'm definitely not in a position to be acquiring one back, but I do hope to one day have one back in the collection, ideally the number I had. But anyway, let's talk about this one. So as we flip it over, you can see that beautifully engraved case back showcasing the Fierce 175, and it's number 1 of 5. This is the number 1. So a great opportunity not just to pick up a super rare watch, but to pick up the very first of the 5. And as you can see, that dial is just magnificent. The way it plays with the lights is beautiful. It really is beautiful. Inside is a manually wound ETA 7001, a workhorse movement, and this one's from February 2021 with its box and paperwork. You'll see all of the accessories included in the photo, so do check those out. And it's currently on a beautiful Fierce strap, which I believe is buffalo. It looks absolutely wonderful in my opinion on this pairing, but at the end of the day, a watch like this is going to look great on so many options, and Fierce also sell a bracelet that would fit on the watch, so do also check that out. But let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. There it is on my 7-inch wrist. The brown just looks beautiful, and the great thing about brown dials is they really work. They're one of those surprising colors that you put on and you realize just how nice it is. And I remember why I love this watch so much, because it fits the wrist beautifully, and it just sort of goes under the radar, it's comfortable, and it's not obtrusive at all. Anyway, dimensions. This is 38mm by 42mm lug to lug, 12mm on the thickness, and 20mm on the lug. Set endless options for this one. Go check it out on the website today. Next to something really fun, this is a Bamford and Goodwolf 80 Snoopy Titanium Limited Edition of 75 pieces for the Goodwolf festival that was done at Goodwood, I believe is the collaboration there again. All the exact details are on the website. I do these off the cuff, and in the interest of speed for the next few weeks, it's probably going to be a bit like that. So let's take a closer look. Now for a really fun and cool watch, which is what you can come to expect from Bamford in my opinion. This is the Bamford and Goodwolf limited edition of 75 pieces with Snoopy there on the dial, and his hands are the hands. So let's show you how that works. You can see you've got the running seconds right there. Really, really cool. Nice textured dial, and Snoopy is 3D as well. So again, he's like protruding slightly from the dial. But as you pull out the crown, you can see that is the hands. That's 12 o'clock and so on. and we're back to pretty much 10 past 10. So hopefully that all makes sense. Inside, behind this closed case back right here, is an automatic Sellita SW300-1. The watch is from circa 2022 with its original box, strap and buckle. And the case is in titanium, making it incredibly light. Just a really cool, fun watch. And if you're after something that just sort of stands out from the crowd, or you're a big Snoopy fan, this is definitely one to consider. So let's show this watch on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. The proportions of this one are great, as you can see. So what you're looking at is 39mm by 48mm lug to lug, only 10mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So endless options for this one. So go check it out on the website today. Now on to a Heuer Chrono Split. This is absolutely amazing. GMT Manhattan Quartz. Really amazing piece. I had quite a few of these quirky quartz watches in one go from one collector, and a lot of them have sold, but this one is left amazingly. I don't know how, especially because the price is amazing. But let's take a closer look at that one. Now for something really rare and really amazing. What you're looking at right here is a 1970s Hoya Manhattan Chrono Split GMT. So you can see the time down there at 6 o'clock with Hoya Manhattan and a date, ticking away nicely with a beautiful original tritium dial. The crown to operate that is right there at the bottom, and then you have a screen display. Now you will see a bit of LED bleeding in the one of the seconds right there, so that should be a 0. You can see the bottom part is now missing, unfortunately. Not uncommon, and actually the fact that the rest of it is completely fine, most of them are broken or they're completely gone. So again, I will take this any day of the week, especially for 1970s LED. Pretty amazing. You have a couple of modes. So right now we're in the chronograph sort of timing mode. You can see you can start, stop, and start and stop, and then reset. And if you hold this down as well, I believe it will take you to a different function, which is a second time zone, which you can set separately, hence the GMT as well. Little pusher right there. Really cool thing, amazing profile. I mean, it's like a ball head, almost tornado shape. I don't know how else to describe it, but the reference to this one is 104.403, and you have 2 movements inside this watch. So you have a quartz caliber 107, which is essentially an ESA 935102, and as I say, from the 1970s. And this is its original bracelet, which looks incredible. This sort of like brick bracelet. And you have a very nifty feature. So if you look at the clasp, you can see this extra nub on one side, and what that is, it's a lock basically. So right now it's pushed in, you can see the little nub right there. What you do is you pull it out like so, and now that unlocks the bracelet to be lifted open. Now if you can see without the bracelet closed, you can see how it functions basically. You're pulling out and in that little locking mechanism. So you can still close the clasp without it. It will still snip down, but that's just extra reassurance. You want to make sure it's lined up, and then you push it in like so, and it locks the clasp. That will not open now that is in. Really cool little feature. Again, just something quirky to go with the rest of it. Nice solid screw down case back. The condition of this one is wonderful. A couple of scratches to the crystal, again to be expected, and it does come with a instruction booklet, the original instruction booklet as well, which is really cool. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that looks absolutely awesome in my opinion. What you're looking at is 36mm by 45.5mm lug to lug, 11mm on the thickness, and 21mm at the lugs, which is integrated, tapering down to the clasp. So go check this one out on the website today. Now on to a special Zenith Defy. This is the A3642 with the 2552 movement. Basically, it's the one they did a re-edition of recently. A beautiful watch. It still has its original glass crystal, so those are actual glass as opposed to acrylic or anything like that. Yeah, really, really nice smoky dial. So let's take a closer look at that. Now for a really wonderful and honest Zenith Defy automatic. This is the reference A3642, which is a reference that they recently reintroduced and brought back with a ladder style bracelet. Unfortunately, this one has no bracelet, but I paired it on a really nice and well suited leather strap. And you can see the dial on this one has got this gorgeous smoky color to it, almost like a brown smoke, and the lume is absolutely wonderful. Date hidden down there at 4:30, and those iconic, in my opinion, iconic Zenith Defy indices, which are almost like a stepped ladder. Absolutely incredible. And as I said in the intro, this is the original glass still in the crystal. It does have some scratches, but again, to be expected for the original. Really nice case profile, screwed down signed crown. As we flip it over, screwed down signed case back. Now inside there is an automatic Zenith caliber 2552 PC, and this watch is from the circa 1970s. Doesn't come with any box or paperwork, but as you see, paired on a really nice strap, which I think suits the design beautifully. And again, that smoky dial just begs to be looked at. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Because of that heavily domed glass crystal, it does catch the light a little bit. You can see right there just how that dial plays with the light and how the patina is developed. Beautiful. So this is 37mm by 44mm lug to lug, 12.5mm on the thickness and 18mm at the lug, so endless options for this one. But go check out this beauty on the website today. Next, a JLC Master Quartz 38mm from the early 70s with its original sprung-loaded JLC signed NSA bracelet. A very cool watch, really nice sort of linen dial. Just an all-round incredible piece. So let's take a closer look. Now on to a really wonderful example, JLC Master Quartz. As you can see right here, this is circa early 1970s, a reference 23304-42. And you have this gorgeous linen dial, as you can see right there, original linen dial with tritium dots throughout, big date over at 3 o'clock, JLC with the applied logo, and you can see a gorgeous cushion case, beautiful finishing, original crown at 3 o'clock, and it comes paired on its original JLC signed, as you can see right there, NSA bracelets. NSA was the bracelet manufacturer, and these are sprung loaded, as you can see. So there's a spring inside there, hidden away behind this part, which basically springs open, which is really handy to get over your hand and sort of have a bit of flexibility, especially because this bracelet is quite small. The dimensions of what wrist it will fit is on the website, and that's not including the spring. So it will fit me with the spring activated, which it activates automatically on wrist. I'll show you that in a minute. But I've also included a nice leather strap, and it does come with a JLC service pouch, a service card, and some parts that were replaced from a service previously as well. And behind this signed screw down case back, you can see right there, is a Quartz Fave Luba caliber 353, which is really interesting that JLC decided to use Fave Luba movements for this model. I suspect it was more affordable than the JLC counterparts, but yeah, really cool watch. Let's show it on wrist and talk dimension. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist with the spring activate. It fits, but it is a bit tight, so I would be wearing this on the leather myself. Links can be found sometimes for these NSAs, but they are quite hard to find, so don't buy it with the intent, or if you do, just be aware you're probably going to wear it on the leather for a while until you do find the links. But these NSA bracelets are out there, so you could possibly buy the same size NSA bracelet and salvage some of the links from it. But anyway, this is 38mm by 43mm lug to lug, 13mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lugs. So go check out this incredible watch on the website today. Somehow I forgot to do an intro to these two, so my apologies, but these are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to do them both together because they are the same watch, the same reference, just different dial colours. And these two actually come from my personal collection, where I and my wife have worn them a handful of times, but they just don't get the wear they deserve for how beautiful they are. So what you're looking at is these two gorgeous Blitter or Bleater Crystalor, I would call them, because they look similar to the Cartier Crystalor with this faceted or multi-stepped bezel, but more of a oval look to them than the actual Cartier Crystalor. You can see on my left there is a gorgeous original blue dial right there, and on my right is a white dial, so a nice pair to have together. Both are in near new old stock condition. They're pretty much exactly the same. Again, some hairline scratches here and there, but nothing major. Stickers still on the case back, same references throughout as well. Just really nice honest examples, and inside is a 17 jewel Swiss manually wound movement in both. They're both from the circa 1970s, and they both look absolutely incredible. So yes, an opportunity to either keep the pair together, and if you do want to do that, I will do a bank transfer deal on the pair to keep together, so shoot me an email if you are interested. But if you only want one, by all means go straight to the website and pick them up. Let's show each one on wrist and talk dimensions. Okay, here we go. On my 7-inch wrist, what I will try and do is overlay the other one whilst also doing this one, if that makes sense. So this is 22mm by 42mm lug to lug, 9mm on the thickness and 16mm at the lugs. A really gorgeous watch, gorgeous profile, and it just looks amazing on the wrist. So go check this one out on the website today. Now for another interesting quartz watch, this is the Longines Ultronic Blue on this original bracelet. This is the large size in 41mm from circa 1974. Really, really cool. Some nice honest patina on the dial as well. So let's take a closer look at this one. Now for an unapologetically 1970s Longines, specifically 1974 this one dates to. This is a reference 8477-4, a Longines Ultronic tuning fork movement. So you can see it's quartz, but that second hand has the most beautiful sweep you will see. And this blue dial is original and looks incredible, and it is starting to patina and create these little flakes, which again looks like a paint splatter. I think it looks absolutely amazing. So it comes on its original bracelet, as you can see, with the Longines logo proudly stated there. Nice solid clasp and a nice screwed down case back, and inside is a tuning fork Longines caliber 6312. As I say, the watch dates to 1974, and it does also come with its original Longines box, which is very nice. So value for money on this one is incredible, especially if you're into the bigger sort of 70s design and 70s look. This definitely ticks that box while still being vintage. Nice Longines crown as well, as you'd expect. So let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. As I say, this is no small watch, and it is imposing on its 70s sort of design, which I absolutely love. So 41mm by 44mm lug to lug. So whilst big, it's also very compact on the wrist. 10mm on the thickness and 22mm at the lugs, with the ends sort of flaring out to fit the case nicely, as you can see right there. Beautiful design, beautiful look. Go check it out on the website today. And last but by no means least, a great Longines Dolce Vita. This is the quartz one with square case and a lovely grey dial on its bracelet with its box and booklet. So let's take a closer look at this one. And last but by no means least, a watch that is almost impossible to capture on the photos because of the curvature of the case and the crystal, which from the side profile you can get an idea just how curved that is. Really incredible craftsmanship there. This is a quartz Longines Dolce Vita with a beautiful sort of multi-textured grey smoky dial, I guess you'd call it, with applied indices, some Roman and some not. Very Art Deco in its design, simple two-hander with a date. It's the reference L5.665.4. As I say, quartz movement, and it comes on its original bracelet, which has a hidden tension fit clasp, so you just pull it open like so, and a nice signed case back right there. The watch is from the circa early 2000s, and it does come with its box and booklet, which is always nice. And as I say, for me, the highlight is just the profile of this. It fits the wrist beautifully and looks far more expensive than it is. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Really comfortable and really good profile. Very similar, I would say, to like the sort of fatter, I can't remember the reference to it, but the fatter Cartier tanks they do in automatic. For those of you who are really into your Cartiers, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it gives a very similar fit and feel to that, whilst being thinner and really hugging the wrist. It looks incredible, like a piece of jewelry. So this is 27mm by 37.5mm lug to lug, only 6.5mm on the thickness and 20mm at the lugs. So go check out this incredible watch on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls. This week's drop, 12 incredible watches. The next 1, 2, 3 drops are already done, basically. So keep an eye out for that. As I say, regardless of what happens, if our son is born as early as it's going to be, by the looks of it, the drops will continue as normal, business will continue as normal. There will just be a delay on responses, probably no phone calls, and again, I will try and send a message if you do phone, but leave a message. It just makes the process a lot easier, and a slight delay to shipping, but I'll keep you posted. So if you order something, I can say, hey, I'm going to be in hopefully on X day, meaning you'll get it X day. You know, I will still do that. So thank you all very much for watching. I look forward to hopefully seeing you all again next week on a video. If not, I apologize, but we'll get back to it soon. All right, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all again next time.